quick disclaimer before the podcast gets started. We say a number of jokes about the fan films. None of them should be taken seriously. It's honestly just nothing but love and respect for those filmmakers and everyone behind those films. All of the fan films discussed are going to be linked in the description, so go check them out, give them some love, and yeah, let's get to the podcast.
We're in my room, which is...
Yep. The crib.
Have you ever been in this room before?
I have.
When?
Once, a long time ago.
Was it my sister's room at the time? Or was it my room?
Oh, you're right. You were in the other room, weren't you? Yeah, I was in the other room. It looks exactly the same, though.
Except it's
like, I feel like
half the size.
I feel like your bed is pretty much in like the same position in the corner with the flag and the dresser.
Accurate. Okay. Accurate.
And this wonderful lamp.
Yeah. I don't really have a cold open.
It's a cute lamp.
Thank you. Got it from...
It looks like chic, like something a rich person would have in their house. But like miniaturized.
I could see it.
It's like the angles, you know, like... something that like their decorator picked out and they don't even know what's in their house. It's just like...
I hired a decorator to decorate my house, and this is what they bought.
And they did wonderful in this room.
Exactly. One singular room. I feel like I did a good job.
Especially the duck on the ceiling.
Oh, yeah. It can't be seen, but I have a...
He'll get you a picture of it later.
Yeah. I have a, like this sticky rubber duck, or not a rubber duck, but like the, like the sticky, like sticky hands, the same material.
Yeah, the little...
Yeah. But it's duck, and I threw it at the ceiling, and I got it at Christmas.
It looks like a duck. It's not made out of duck.
And I threw it up Christmas Day.
He threw it up.
I
vomited it all over the floor.
I ingested it and proceeded to just vomit it out.
Quack, quack.
No, I tossed it up into the ceiling because my sister did.
Has it been up there that whole time?
Yeah, since Christmas.
That's wild.
It's been up there. It's been
up there 3 months.
What is it?
4 months.
It's March 10th. It's been up there since Christmas.
That's wild. What is that? Math's taking a hit right now. Not math. Counting's taking a hit.
I'm same thing.
December, January, February, March.
Yeah, it's like
almost 3
like
months.
3 months. It's crazy.
That's a quality product, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Nissan, innovation that excites.
Isn't that their little... No, wait. Their sound is weird.
It's like...
I've definitely made fun of it on TV before. It's like innovation that excites, and it's like... yeah, it's like some stupid noise. And you're like, yes.
Yes, Nissan.
Welcome to... whatever the title is this time.
Well, welcome to Fan Talk with Hey Man, it's Parma. Should that just be the name of the podcast in general? Welcome to Fan Talk.
Fan Talk? We don't always talk about fans, though.
That's true. I don't have a fan in this room.
I looked at one of the comments on the fan films, and it made me laugh out loud by myself while I was in the shop. It said, if this is what fans could do, imagine what air conditioning could complete.
Oh, yeah, I saw that too. That's funny.
I'm like, get it, because it's a fan?
Yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so for this episode of the podcast, we watched some fan films, both separate and literally
together
4 minutes ago. Some good ones.
Turning off my ringer.
Some good ones. Some bad ones. Some subpar ones. And some unintentionally hilarious ones. And the one that I really want to talk about, just immediately off the cuff, is a fan film of the Frank Miller comic book run of The Dark Knight Returns. What are your thoughts?
Bad. It was very bad. Sean made a very good point. Like, if it was like Adam, like it's kind of Adam West-y style. It's just very cheesy TV, like poor quality. It was hard to watch, actually. And it was the long one, too. It was like 45 minutes of subpar videography, and you were like... Nice.
There was some
now like high school project. Okay.
Yeah, right.
Legit.
Yeah.
Past that, it's just
it's not great.
Rough.
Yeah, but I watched it and I couldn't help but laugh throughout it because there are certain scenes that are supposed to be like intense or serious. They're just funny because there's a scene where it's cool, like the way it's set up, in that like Bruce Wayne is looking out his big old window, right?
Yeah,
and he's looking out and he sees a bat fly past the window. He's like, oh, he's like watching it go by, and then he starts thinking, and then he looks down, and then he proceeds to like, do the perfect movie thing. It was like you kind of like the hero scream. It was like rah, you know what I'm talking about? They're like rah,
Yes.
You know what I'm saying, right?
Yes, I do.
But instead of like zooming out or panning out or having a shot that's further away, right? They zoom in on his face. Like, they zoom in on his face, and
it's not pretty.
It's so funny because it's like a medium shot at first, and then it's an extreme close up.
It's supposed to be this very serious moment, and it's just ruined.
It's ruined by this extreme close up. And it's so funny because he's just
You reminded me of the old... Is it George Clooney?
Yes.
Reminds me of the old George Clooney film. What was it? Batman something.
Batman and Robin?
Yes.
Is that the one?
Yes. It reminded me of Bane.
Yeah.
When he does his thingy. It's almost the same exact thing, but worse. Which is saying something because that movie was bad.
Rough. That was a rough movie. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was really funny.
I can't believe George Clooney recovered from that.
I can't either.
Because he's great.
Yeah, and honestly, when I think of Bruce Wayne, George Clooney would be the clear choice to play
you see him
Bruce
in your brain.
Wayne.
You're like, oh yeah, he's very Bruce Wayne.
He's very Bruce Wayne-like, yeah. Oh, what else was there? But there were other things. There was one thing I thought was cool.
His mask looked like comic book Wolverine, but blue.
Yeah.
With Batman ears.
Yes.
I was like...
It looked like the Adam West version of The Dark Knight Returns, like what I said earlier. But there was a certain scene that I thought was cool and had a lot of potential. It's where this lady, she's about to get like attacked by a dude, right? And Batman's shadow gets cast up on this window on a door.
When he pulls him through the door.
And he pulls him through the window.
Yeah, the theory there was good.
Yeah.
Like, the idea, the writing was good, yeah.
But the execution was a little rough, and it was still kind of funny. But it was cool. Like, I saw what...
You see him behind the door, just like... And he's like grunting and like...
He's like
growling.
snarling.
It's like, well, okay.
What's going on with Batman? And then there's a bit where... he like runs into a building and it straight up looks like it's Adam West running with Robin into a building. It's legitimately so funny because he's like trotting into this building instead of, I don't know, a cooler entrance where he uses his grapple gun or literally anything else. It's just so funny.
If you ever want to watch that, just like
don't expect the Dark Knight.
The first scene, there's a car. He's like racing a Formula 1 style car.
Yes.
Anyway, after he crashes it, and afterwards he's like, the reporter's asking him stuff, and it's really cheesy and bad. And he's like, "Would this have been a good death?" And the Bruce Wayne was like, "Yes, it would have been good." And he smiles like, "But not good enough." That sums up the rest of the show. So like. So like if you thought that was bad, like that's just the whole show. So just like pause it and watch something else. Like Vader.
But right. Yeah, another fan film we watched was Vader by Star Wars Theory.
Shards of the Past, or whatever they call it.
Yes. By the Star Wars Theory YouTube channel.
Very, very well done.
Super cool.
And it's hard because they almost have an advantage because Vader's suit is just like you
can't change it.
It's replicated.
Right. Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Like, they obviously had a prop costume made to look exactly the same. And so it's kind of, they almost have an advantage in the fact that like whoever plays Vader is going to look like Darth Vader because they do scenes with him without his suit and like in his big back to tank thing.
And it looks good.
It does look really good, and they really use the videography like to their benefit, because they zoom out at some point, but like they keep everything very close, so like you don't have to see the lack of like professional quality. That being said, it was a really well done, almost professional quality.
It had a cool story. It had good effects. It was just really good.
It was very intriguing too, because you watch it. I mean, I'm not going to spoil the whole thing. Like,
right.
If there's one I don't want to spoil, it's this one. Go watch it.
Go watch it. It is very good. It was on trending for. It was like number 2.
While.
Yeah, for a good like week or something like that.
But it pulled me in because the first scene like doesn't make sense.
It seems out of canon.
Something's
for
very
Star Wars.
off. Yeah, you're like, okay,
this doesn't seem right.
What's going on here? Yeah, but then it melds into what? Yeah, it's really good.
It's so good.
It's really good.
Highly recommended.
Very intense. Vader-y.
Yeah.
With a surprise person at the end. Beginning of
the
next episode.
Yeah.
The clones are really good in that too.
Oh,
I don't know how they did that.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're
totally.
all clone, like have all like cosplay suits, or if they almost look like CGI-ish. But there's many clones in all the scenes, and they look like clones.
Yeah.
Technically, they're stormtroopers at this point, but they're still in the
clone armor.
Gen 3 armor.
Right. Yeah. I think it's Phase 2. Yeah, Phase 2 armor.
It's very soon, very quick after the Empire.
This picks up like I think within a year of the Empire.
Yes, very close. Because they're still flying the Star Cruisers.
Yeah,
the Republic Star Cruisers.
But they just don't have paint jobs.
Yeah, very interesting.
Yeah. And then on the same track of good fan films, the Uncharted fan film with Nathan Fillion.
That was really good, and it was really good because like it left you like, oh, there's more, but it also left you with like, hey, I'm just satisfied with like
what I got.
The little scene, because like what, 15 minutes?
Yeah, something like that.
Basically a scene, practically, of a movie. But they do really good. What's his face is in it? The main guy?
Nathan Fillion?
Yeah. Very quippy and
funny.
It wasn't forced though. I was afraid he was going to continue to force it, but it was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Definitely the Vader one and the Uncharted are my recommends to actually watch. I will admit it's not like my thing to watch like fan films.
Yeah, but I thought it'd be fun, so that's why we're doing it.
Yeah.
And then, dude, the guy from Pair of Kings is in it. The guard from Pair of Kings. Did you see Pair of Kings as a kid?
I did not. Are you talking about the big main guy with the black leather jacket?
Yeah,
he looked familiar.
Yeah, he was on one of the Disney shows.
Maybe that's where I remember him from. His voice is very distinctive too.
Yeah.
It's very. I can't even replicate it. It's just like
super deep.
Super like. Yeah, it's wild. This is where you dub in a clip of his voice. It's like that, but talking. Making noises. Yeah, like words.
I don't know if I can make it. I can't do it.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna try. I'm not gonna try.
Don't try.
What other good ones did we watch? We watched Gambit. There was a Gambit fan film. Can't remember who it was by, but that one was really good.
That one was really good.
It was really well done, and as far as because Gambit hasn't been done well in live action, and a lot of people ever, which is a shame because from what we watched, I was like, I would watch the crap out of this. You know what I mean?
It was really good. It was It was almost professional quality. I mean, it was very, very good, and there was semi-big names in it. What's that guy's name?
I don't remember his name. But he was in The Dark Knight as
he's in The Dark Knight as the
Salvatore Maroni.
Yes, he's the
main mobster.
Yeah.
So he's in some stuff, man.
That breaks both his legs.
Yeah, gets thrown.
This fall won't kill me. No, but it'll break your leg, and then he just drops him, and he's like, ah!
Oh no, this fall's not going to kill me. I'm counting on it.
It
lets him go. Yeah. That was such a baller scene. And he goes, ah!
How many times did Batman pull people up like with ropes and stuff like that? The same exact way. Like the guy at the falafel stand, one of the corrupt cops, the mobster. It happens a couple other times. The Joker.
I don't know, but I don't care because it's very
awesome.
Signature. It's awesome. Yeah. So I have no complaints. And then what else did we watch? I'm totally spacing. Well,
Kenobi.
We watched Kenobi. That's right.
Hello there.
Before, I mean,
that's when you go hello there.
Hello there.
Yeah.
Hello there.
He'll slap it together.
this obviously came out way before. We are now getting Obi-Wan Kenobi. Actual Kenobi show. This was in the...
With Ewan
McGregor.
Hello there.
I'm so happy he's back. I love Ewan McGregor.
I'm very happy he decided that it was something he wanted to do.
Because I think, from what I can tell, everyone except for Harrison Ford enjoyed their time doing their Star Wars characters. Because even like Samuel L. Jackson liked it.
He just likes everything.
Liam Neeson really enjoyed it, and he would
being Qui-Gon
be interested in coming back. So he'll probably show up in the show.
I hope so, as a Force ghost or something.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
I think Harrison Ford enjoyed his time in Star Wars more than he lets on.
Maybe a little. Maybe
just
in the
time. Kind of guy he is. He's like, it's whatever.
He's like,
it was an early point in my life.
Right. I want to move on.
Yeah,
I want to move on or whatever. But this Kenobi fan film, very good.
It was really good.
Yeah.
And it was so funny, one of the Imperial officers is played by...
James Arnold Taylor.
James Taylor, who plays the voice of Obi-Wan in the Clone Wars.
Yeah.
And it was very... I won't spoil the catchphrase, but it's very ironic, some of the phrases that are said. And you're like...
That's another one.
Get it? Because he's Obi-Wan, but he's also Obi-Wan.
Yeah. It's really good. Would recommend that one as well.
Very good soundtrack.
Oh yeah,
we were mentioning that as I had watched it before we got here too, at least the first part. So we rewatched it, but listening to the soundtrack, I was like, "Is this like an overture?"
Yeah, from Star Wars,
a Star Wars overture by John Williams or something, because it sounded very, very Star Wars.
It sounded very good.
And if it was, I mean, good. But if it wasn't, like they nailed it
then
on
kudos honestly.
the head, because it sounded like a Star Wars soundtrack. It was really good.
I think the soundtrack for all of them, except the Dark Knight one that we've talked about, all of them except for that one were good.
Not good.
Well, because I could tell it was stock music. It was 100% stock music. The reporter
scenes were
oh my gosh,
were awful.
It was so painful. That was the only thing that just hurt me. Everything else,
It's coming like a storm.
Oh my gosh.
To Gotham.
But all the other ones had pretty good soundtrack as well.
Yeah.
Gambit had a cool one because it had this kind of bluegrassy rock.
Had very R&B.
Bluesy.
Yeah.
It was dope. I really liked it. And then Kenobi was also really cool. And then the one that we just watched, my personal favorite for sentimental reasons, not because it's the best, but Nightwing the series by Ismahawk.
Yeah, I had never seen that, but it was good. It might as well have been a TV. I mean, they were short, but it might as well have been a TV show. Like, I wouldn't have known the difference.
It's
if
on
I
par.
didn't ever watch TV or follow anything, and Sean was just like, "Hey, you want to watch this TV show?" I would have just thought it was a TV show.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely. I mean, it came out in 2014, and so it dates it quite a bit. But it still holds up pretty well.
I was going to say, and you can tell there's there's an element that lacks professional touch, money.
Right.
But other than that, it was pretty good.
It holds up pretty good. Sure.
Except for when someone gets shot in the head and then just walks away. Certain someone is not Wolverine, Deadpool, the Hulk, Superman,
or any number of
people who could get shot in the head and walk away. No, he just.
But the thing is,
dun, dun.
But the thing is, we could bring up Hawkeye. Hawkeye, the show. Did you watch Hawkeye?
Yeah. You're talking about Kingpin?
Kingpin gets shot. He's not dead. If they kill Kingpin by bringing him in, the same show, I'm gonna be pissed. A lot of people are going to be pissed.
I wonder if it was just the way they got rid of the character.
I don't think so.
I think he's a great character. I don't 100% like what they've done with him.
Fair.
But he has a lot of potential, so I doubt he's dead.
I hope not, because I love my Daredevil stuff.
That series was okay.
Yeah, it was just okay.
Yeah.
It was just okay.
I liked the doggo. Spoiler warning.
Lucky.
There's a dog.
Lucky the dog. I like the dog.
who is less important than I thought he was.
Yeah.
I did some research, like comic-based research, and he's literally just a dog.
A dog.
With one eye or whatever.
There's nothing wrong with that either.
No, dogs are great.
Yeah.
But I was like, yo, is this like some alien or something?
Like the cat from Captain Marvel.
Like the cat from Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Which I think is in the comics.
I have no idea.
There's some animal that's actually an alien in that universe. Not universe, but storyline. So I was like, yo, this is like... Because they had like one eye, you know? And dogs can have one eye without being aliens. But I was like, there's something special about him. He's literally just Lucky the dog.
Lucky the dog. Yeah.
Man's best friend.
Yeah. What did you like from the...
Why is man not man's best friend?
Because we're mean to each other.
Because we suck? Is that what you're going to say?
Yeah, pretty much.
You almost said it. We suck.
We suck.
What was your question?
What was your favorite bit from the Nightwing show? Or Nightwing, the series? Did you have a favorite bit?
I think my favorite bit wasn't really meant to be a bit, but should I spoil the end with...
Okay, now let's get into spoilers for all of them. We'll just say spoiler warning.
We're spoiling.
If you don't want
everything.
spoilers, just
we're spoiling
go watch
like
them.
the sour cream that has sat in your fridge for 5 years.
Oh.
I hope not. Clean your fridge out.
Honestly,
oh,
golly.
That was gross.
That's nasty. Yes, so spoiler warning. I'll have everything linked in the description. Go watch them and then come back.
Jason Todd shows up at the end as the Red Hood. And he's the one who sniped Deathstroke, who walked away in front of Nightwing, in front of Dick. And at the end, I can't remember the actual dialogue, but he's like, you know, what does he say? Stay out of this or whatever.
Stay out of my way.
Yeah. And
what?
And Nightwing's like, or what? And I just kind of laughed because, like, dude, he just sniped a dude standing 3 feet in front of you. Like, he could have just killed you, but he didn't. It was just like a silent bit of like, really? Really?
You're really gonna ask that question?
Yeah, really.
Yeah. There are some really cool things that they do in that show. I think Deathstroke looks cool.
Yeah.
Like super cool in the show. Or in the series, or in the whatever you want to call it. And
we're supposed to be spoiling everything?
Yeah.
What else are we spoiling?
Well, whatever.
Mace Windu.
Mace Windu at the end of is teased at the end of the first episode of Vader, and then there's a teaser for episode 2, which still hasn't come out yet.
Which I'm not. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. I'm not like mad, like no, he's dead, but I'm also not like happy, like yes, they brought him back. It's like it's okay for characters to die.
Yeah. I think that's something that
it was a little bit
bothers
like
me.
In the prequels though, because
he just
maybe I just have an understanding.
Right.
Mace Windu is a super powerful guy. Like the whole concept is he has mastered, which is a little bit like un-Jedi-y, and I thought it was kind of interesting.
He dabbles in the dark arts,
but like he has balance over both sides of the Force,
yeah.
and that's what makes him so
powerful,
such a force to be reckoned with.
So,
but it's also like
so cool.
But he's also a Jedi and allowed to be a Jedi, and it's kind of just like,
yeah.
So
I mean, I think
granted the title of Master,
the bit that really sells it as Mace Windu being the most baller Jedi is in the Clone Wars in season 1. There's a bit where he saves an AT-ST pilot from the cockpit, and he uses the force on the glass, and it just shatters. And that was just so cool.
Yeah, I
just
remember
goes,
that. Yeah,
and he grabs the guy and just runs. I don't know. I love Mace Windu. I think he's so cool.
He is cool.
Really cool, dude.
And could have changed the course of Star Wars.
Oh, totally. Yeah, honestly, if Anakin
kill Palpatine and turn himself in to the Republic, go to prison. Very interesting.
Wow, honestly. Gambit. Favorite bit from Gambit.
Favorite bit from Gambit. When the disc brakes on the back of his Chevelle were glowing red. That doesn't happen.
I mean, kinda.
He was going like 80 miles an hour.
Yeah.
He would just stop, and the brakes would just cool off. They don't glow red.
Well, it's because he uses powers on them. Did you even watch that?
I know, it was like a Fast and Furious, like inside the motor. Yeah, I don't know why. He probably could have stopped in time just normally.
Maybe
this chick poofs out of nowhere.
Maybe he just got stressed or something. I don't know. Just that was funny.
It was really annoying in the beginning though, because she kept
teleporting.
She kept teleporting around him.
But it's
not like a quick teleport. It's like she
created she created a portal. Yeah, she created a portal like every 3 seconds.
And Gambit's just like, can you stop?
Yeah.
Can we just have a
That was really... There were some funny bits, man.
It was pretty funny.
There were some funny bits in there.
Like when the one guy shoots the other guy in the back with his, like... death
with
ray.
his space gun or something.
This guy's like, I'm gonna kill you, Gambit. Like, I've been training. And it's like, it would have been interesting to see, like, could they actually fight? Like, he could hold his own. And then he just...
Gets blasted by another guy.
What a dude.
So funny.
And the dealer was my favorite in the whole show. Because he's just sitting there at this poker game, this intense poker game
and
full of murderers.
People are like killing each other. Like this,
and he's just like...
He's just there. He's just there shuffling
the calls
the deck.
to the senator. Yeah, and you're like, what?
It's like, dude.
What did he say at the end? He shows up at the end. He's alive.
Can I have a ride? I think he said. You guys going to like Monticello or something?
My favorite is he has his like box with that you keep chips and cards in and stuff, like official poker decks.
Yeah.
Like he collected it all up after the big, because Gambit like smashes the table and stuff.
Oh, that was really cool.
The best action scene, the best action bit is when because Gambit uses a bow staff, is that what they call it?
Yeah.
Like a bow staff thing. The poker chips fly in the air because he hit the table, and then it's slow motion. He takes the end of his bow staff and like, bing, hits one of the poker chips,
and it hits the guy across the table.
In the forehead or
so
whatever.
Cool.
Yeah.
The action in it was really good. The effect.
That one was close to professional quality.
Yeah. When he threw the card through the portal though, that was really cool. The portal
closed. Yeah.
That was really cool. And
I want to know how he keeps winning at cards though.
Yeah,
because he doesn't cheat.
I guess he's a lucky dude.
He keeps winning.
Yeah. Maybe he has Domino's powers.
He runs the Gambit. Yeah, it's very good. What other spoilers?
I mean, Uncharted. Dude.
There's no real spoilers, but it's very funny.
Well, there's some bits that...
You're El Tigre? What are they feeding you? That's my favorite.
Dude, that kid, the little guy, he looked like freaking, he looked like Rufio from Hook.
Yes, and then he just starts pummeling the crap out of him. What are they feeding you? What is that? It's a compass.
There was some, oh gosh, so funny.
It's
like, look at you.
The compass needle, that was pretty cool.
That was neat, yeah.
He ends up taking one of the needles off the compass so he can pick his handcuffs. Which I don't know when that happened, but it was pretty wicked.
Yeah, it was neat. It was cool. And then the fighting.
The old guy's pretty funny.
Oh, yeah. The fighting was really funny.
The fighting was really good, too.
It was good. Funny. It was funny. Because there's that bit where he, like, pulls the guy's ponytail
and
throws it at the guy, and he just goes, ah!
What's the bit he does while he's handcuffed to the chair? He's like, something about... The guy's haircuts from the 90s. Gosh dang it, what is it?
Oh, yeah. He's just, like, insulting the other guys, and they're just everyone's laughing.
At each other.
Because...
Or when El Tigre starts beating him up, the other henchman, like, pulls out, like, a candy bar and just starts eating a candy bar while he's getting the life beat out of him. And then he's in the comms with the old guy, and he's like... will you hurry it up or whatever? And he's like, you're not the one who's about to get their finger chopped off by El Tigre or whatever. Yeah, it was pretty funny.
And then the bit where they turned it into a third-person shooter. Did you notice that?
Yeah, that was very interesting.
That was cool.
The gunplay was okay. You could tell it was fake. I mean, it's fake in movies, too.
Yeah.
But you could, obviously. But you could tell it was fake, but it was pretty good.
I thought it was cool to have that point of view because of, I mean, the games. The games are obviously
acting
like that.
In that portion, like him handling the gun, seemed a little bit off.
You're right, but he's not Keanu Reeves.
No, but it was fine because and then the Jeep.
Yeah, the escape.
The old guy was funny. Yeah.
But I enjoyed the idea of making it look like the video game, because obviously it was based off of the video game before the Uncharted movie came out, which I've heard underwhelming reviews about.
Right.
And then at the very end, there was essentially a quick time event where you were it was a slow motion punch, but it was so slow motion that it looked like a quick time event in a video game, where you would press a button and you would do something.
It looked like you.
So that was funny. Oh, what else? I mean, Vader. Vader was really good.
Vader was really good and kind of gets into his character.
Yeah.
You just watch it. Yeah. Watch that one. Watch Uncharted.
There's not much, like, mind-blowing scenes, but it's just good. You know? It's just good.
Yeah.
Just go watch it. And honestly, if I'm being completely candid, go watch The Dark Knight Returns. Because it's hilarious. If you enjoy watching Batman...
I would not recommend...
Batman 1966 with Adam West, go watch this.
I would not recommend that to
It's hilarious. It is so unintentionally funny and campy that you'll enjoy it just because of that.
So bad.
You don't go in expecting the Dark Knight trilogy. No. You don't even go expecting the comic. Don't. Just go in expecting to have a just dumb time.
Expect your 12-year-old cousin made a movie with his uncle as Batman. But his uncle is also kind of a drunk and isn't a great actor.
Yeah, did you enjoy his performance of Batman and Bruce Wayne?
His performance of Bruce Wayne was not half bad. His performance of Batman was
rough.
wild.
That was rough. Oh, we forgot about the other Batman one that we watched. Dying is Easy.
Yeah, it was...
That one's by Bat in the Sun, and that one's good.
It was very professional quality.
Yeah.
But, it's just short and... Right. It was very good.
Very well done. Very well put together. The action was dope.
The Batman in that show was like every Batman ever put into one person.
Right. And done really well.
He had like stocky sort of build like Affleck with kind of a cowl like Affleck, but it also had hints of that new Patterson Batman in the head cowl. But also the neck kind of had sort of a Michael Keaton vibe to the fact that like if you
was a little stiff
in the Michael Keaton, he couldn't turn his head, so he had to like, come on, Robin. But it had that sort of esque, but like his gait and walk
was very
and
much
cape action was very much Christian Bailey. Very, very, very...
That Batman's
good.
So cool.
And then even some, like, Arkham-style technology dealio. Like, there's one point where his cowl,
uses detective vision.
Zooms in and,
right.
like, pulls things out. Almost like an Iron Man Jarvis-style dealio, like, computer program. So, yeah, it was cool.
Oh, sorry. And the action was cool, too.
Was very well done.
Yeah. There's not that much, but it's right at the beginning.
Yeah, like I said, there's not much there. A lot of it is just that relationship between Joker and Batman, which is like...
It's cool. It's interesting.
That's all right.
Yeah. But that bit of action at the beginning is sweet. Sweet. Yeah, but that's all the ones that we watched. That's all... I don't know if you watched any more. I watched some more. I watched a number of them.
I did not.
I watched... there's this one... I watched a lot more. There was a Spider-Man one that I watched. I can't remember what it was called, but it was pretty good. Kind of a more grounded version of Spider-Man. Very gritty, but also kind of good. Also, right. It was pretty good. I watched a Lord of the Rings fan film.
They're doing a show.
It's not about Lord of the Rings, though. It's about before.
No, it's based on the
Silmarillion.
Silmarillion, yeah. Which, if you didn't know, is another book. Collection of stories by Tolkien. Yeah. About before everything else.
It's about
Lord of the Rings. Precursor was The Hobbit to Lord of the Rings.
Right.
It's precursor to everything. It brings the actual book brings in stories like from before the Rings, but also after the Rings. So it's like a long period of time.
Yeah, but the Silmarillion, if I'm being, it's much more of a prequel than The Hobbit was. The Hobbit was more self-contained.
The Hobbit is just Yeah,
but Silmarillion kind of sets up... I never really
thought of it as like a prequel.
It kind of is. That's the way the movies are made, and I don't like it.
It is, because lots of that stuff does connect into the Lord of the Rings, and it's purposeful.
Right.
But I never really thought of it like that. The movies do play on like that.
Yeah.
Lots of people don't like those movies. I enjoyed the Hobbit movies. They're not as good as the Lord of the Rings movies, but I enjoyed them. It's hard because they drug
it out too much.
Dragged out a shorter story into like 3 movies because they wanted to mash Lord of the Rings. Mm-hmm. And frankly, it's because of the money that would come from it, and they did. So,
but the thing is, they didn't do it. At least for me, they didn't do it to the same caliber as Lord of the Rings.
No, that's what I'm saying. Lord of the Rings
necessarily because they dragged it out, but they added stuff that I didn't like. Like the elf dwarf relationship was ridiculous. I didn't like it at all.
It's kind of how it was in the book, though.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, have you read the book?
Yeah, I've read the book.
Yeah, they hate each other.
No, I'm talking about not that relationship. I'm talking about the love relationship.
Thing. Yeah, that was
dumb.
That was pointless.
No, the
I misunderstood you.
Yeah,
I was like, no, that's literally
that's normal. That's in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that was just for general cinema audience, and it worked probably
for some people.
It probably brought in a higher population of female viewers. They probably got into it more because, like,
I think they lost.
I want to know what happened.
To be honest, I think they lost female viewers at the title The Hobbit.
That's true. They probably lost female viewers at the fact that they didn't even know it existed.
Unless But
that's what I'm saying.
Books,
is they were trying to cater to a mass. They were trying to cater to the mass average population
rather than the book readers.
So.
Yeah.
But I liked seeing the dwarves and everything about the dwarves.
Okay.
Their kingdom, their armor, their lore, their just everything.
And,
because you don't see that in Lord of the Rings.
Right.
The only dwarf you see in Lord of the Rings is
Gimli.
Yeah. Pretty much the entire time.
And then you can see Gloin when they're at the Council of Elrond, and that's it.
Yes.
That's
and it's a tie back.
That's it. Yeah.
It's his father, but
yeah.
But I really liked seeing all that.
Yeah.
I like their style and their.
And then the Misty Mountains song. Like,
very well done. I can't remember the actor's name, but
Misty Mountains go. I can't remember either. But that song, the one that they sing it is so cool. Anyway, back to the fan film. It's called The Hunt for Gollum.
Hobbit's not a fan film?
No,
I'm kidding.
No. Well, technically it is because Peter Jackson was a fan of The Hobbit.
A fan of Tolkien.
Yeah, in general.
Everything's a fan film.
Whoa, that's crazy. Yo, Force Awakens is a fan film.
Batman scream. Ah!
And zoom in. Anyway, the fan film is called Hunt for Gollum.
Mm-hmm.
And
let me guess, they're hunting for Gollum.
Yes, but so this is a bit out of the Lord of the Rings book that they didn't put in the movies. So in the space, so what people don't realize, from when Gandalf leaves Frodo in the Shire, in the beginning of the first Lord of the Rings, to when he comes back is a space of like 10 years.
Yes.
It's like 7 or 10 years or something.
Correct.
And in that time, he's trying to find the One Ring and really figure out if it's Frodo's ring or Bilbo's ring. And so
which is kind of funny.
He goes to find Gollum, but he sends Aragorn to go do it. And so the hunt for Gollum is following Aragorn in his journeys to go hunt and find Gollum.
Yeah.
And essentially what happens is, I'm going to spoil it, but it's in the book. If you haven't read it, you probably will never read it.
Old spoilers. Yeah. It's an old book.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If you don't know, then you're never going to know.
You probably won't read it.
Yeah, exactly.
Read it, so. You should.
Yeah, I want to, but it's just really thick, and I'm not very good at that kind of thing. But in the end, Aragorn takes him up to Mirkwood Forest, and the woodland elves, and that's where Gollum is kept until Gandalf can go and question him. And then eventually he escapes and gets captured by Mordor, and that's where we find him in the movies.
Right.
And so that's what happens. That's right. The hunt for Gollum, and it's done really well. It's done remarkably well. It's kind of on... I wouldn't say it's quite on par.
You might have as well just fit it into the movies. Like, the movies are already so ridiculously long, which isn't a problem.
Yeah.
It's just like...
Might as well.
Finish the job.
Throw it out.
Like,
throw it out
it's already 3 hours and 10 minutes.
Make an extended edition.
Yes, I have seen the extended editions.
It's fantastic.
And they're great.
I love it. I'm a big I'm a long movie fan. I like long movies.
If you have the time to watch a long movie, that is the way to go.
Yeah.
Especially if it's based on, like, a book or something. Sometimes, like...
Or if it's something you like a lot, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think that's the appeal with, like, you know, binging movies. Or not movies, but TV shows.
Yeah.
If you like it and you just want to watch a ton of it.
Well, TV show now is, like, episodes are, like, an hour long.
Yeah, that's true.
It's like a short movie.
Yeah. But I will confess, I watched WandaVision.
Confess to me, my son.
I watched WandaVision, Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Loki. Oh, what was the...
Low-key what?
Loki and What If. I watched all...
Yeah, sorry.
I watched all 4 of those within a week span.
That's not a sin, my son.
Well, it's not... I'm just saying, that's... Each one of those is about 6 hours of content.
It's a lot of content.
And I watched it... Actually, I think it was in a span of like 5 days.
Was that after you got back? That's after you got back?
Yeah, that's when I got home.
That's why. No offense. He had nothing to do.
Yeah. That's a good point.
But watch shows.
And catch up.
Yeah, those are all good.
Yeah.
I would have too if I don't, like, sleep, go to work, eat.
Do anything.
Projects, yeah.
Yeah, but Hunt for Gollum was really good. And then there was a Star Wars one that was really good. Kind of a...
The Force Awakens?
No.
Oh, wait, that wasn't a fan film.
Technically, it was. Whatever.
Yeah, we've determined that technically most things are fan films.
Technically, most fans are fan.
Not in the traditional way, but yeah.
Yeah.
In Vader... sorry, going back, I was thinking about Force Awakens. So in Force Awakens, Kylo Ren holds back like a blaster ball or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And so Vader does that.
Yes.
In the Shards of the Past,
and he does it cooler.
Yeah.
Because he holds like.
They have those blaster miniguns.
Yeah, the Gatling gun or whatever.
It's a hypothetical scenario. You find out when you watch the show, like it doesn't actually happen. He's like dreaming it. But the clones are coming in trying to save
the Emperor
because Vader's trying to kill the Emperor in this hypothetical dream. And they're just like... And there's tons, and you kind of... It takes a second to realize what he's doing, but there's just like a field of like blue, and he's just holding back all of them whilst talking to the Emperor and like...
Or choking him. Right.
Yeah, force choking him, and then he just... And shoots all the blasters back, and the clones
kills
just,
all of them.
They just...
So cool.
And you're like, oh my goodness. It's just interesting because it kind of brought back, like... You know how I feel about the new Star Wars movies.
Right.
Kylo Ren had a lot of potential, but I really didn't like what they did with him. Long story short. So, like, that whole thing was kind of unique. I don't think we'd really seen that on screen before, like, on the big screen. Like, holding back that blaster bolt.
And that was cool.
It was really cool, but it shows, like, Vader could probably do that and more.
Yeah.
We just didn't see it, on screen.
There wasn't an opportunity.
He was way more powerful than Kylo Ren was, and that was kind of a, like, yeah, Kylo Ren wasn't all that. There was so much potential to that, and it just, it flopped worse than a European football player.
That's funny.
Bad.
There was another one that I saw, another Star Wars one, where it was Darth Vader versus Kylo Ren. And it was a hypothetical, kind of a dream scenario for Kylo. So Kylo Ren goes to find...
Vader just stomp him like a child?
At first, but Kylo manages... Because it's a dream. It's kind of like Luke's dream. It's kind of like Luke's dream on Dagobah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, gotcha.
But he's on this planet, and I think he's looking for Darth Vader's lightsaber. And he goes and he finds Darth Vader instead, and he fights him, and it's a really cool. I don't know. That's a great question, isn't it? But he goes and he fights him, and it's a really cool fight. It's really well done, cool editing, and then Darth Vader nearly destroys Ben, and then Kylo Ren gets him,
up or whatever,
or not wakes him. He kind of gets him the same way as he got Snoke.
Gotcha.
Kind of outsmarts him. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Who was not Mace Windu? Who was not Palpatine? He was just some bro. that was wrinkly as heck.
Oh my gosh.
Some guy who did not moisturize. What was he?
Who was the villain in those movies, man? Who was the bad guy?
So was that he like a Palpatine force puppet? Like just some guy that was like, but he was big. He was like a different species. He was like a very large humanoid guy. And you're like, what even happened?
What are you?
And then he just gets chopped in half. This force guy, did he have the force? Or it was implied that he's powerful, like a Palpatine character, and then just gets chopped in half. Not that powerful characters can't get chopped in half.
And let's talk about my poor boy Andy Serkis, who finally was in Star Wars, and he got to do diddly squat. My man.
Those movies suck.
Oh, they're very disappointing.
There's lots of cool art and theory in the movies. Like I said, Kylo's character, his design and his hilted lightsaber, super cool.
The crackling lightsaber.
The Emperor's guards that were there, super cool. They were gonna bring in the Knights of Ren, but then didn't.
Yeah.
Super cool, concepts, styles, art, super cool, but it's just a flop.
Execution, fail. It was a fail. Looking back, at first I was indifferent, but the more I look at it, I just see it as just a loss of potential. You know what I mean? Because there was so much potential.
It just sucks so much because I feel like they're doing a really good job in between. Boba Fett, Kenobi, The Mandalorian, Rogue One, Han Solo, they're all very good standalone films that fill the cracks in people's hearts.
But there's no there's none of that trilogy.
No, there's no art.
No. I mean, with the trilogy, there's no... Because my big thing with the sequels now is every movie is a reaction to the last.
Yeah, because they're awful.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying.
No, because Force Awakens, I don't think it's bad. But I think it suffers because it's a reaction to the prequels. And Last Jedi is a reaction to Force Awakens. And Rise of Skywalker is most blatantly a reaction to The Last Jedi.
And it was poorly titled.
Very, very bad.
Have you seen that video of every Star Wars movie has the wrong name?
Yeah, that's funny.
It's awesome.
Hilarious. It's really funny.
It works.
Yeah.
I would not be mad if they officially signed a petition and changed the names around. I was like,
I'd be a little
this
upset.
Is crazy. Oh yeah, but this is crazy. This guy sat down and was like, this goes here, this goes here, this.
I think
here,
it's funny, but I do not think they should change it. All it's changing is the title. Right. Everything else is the same.
They even use the crappy titles they used for the last three, and they actually fit into all the spaces.
The first one is Rise of Skywalker.
That makes my blood. Can you feel the heat emanating from my bloodstream? Because it's boiling. It starts to boil. What's your
Then what
name?
are your thoughts on
What's your name, Ray?
What are your thoughts?
What's your last
No,
name?
don't. No.
Skywalker.
Where's the blaster? I'm going to shoot you with it.
I'm going to shoot myself with it. That sucked. She's not a Skywalker.
What are your thoughts on Duel of Fates?
She's a scamp.
What are your thoughts?
What?
Duel of Fates. The Ryan or Colin Trevorrow version of Episode 9. The other script.
I read somewhere about that, but I actually have not looked at it at all.
Dude, it's so much more interesting sounding than Rise of Skywalker ever.
Does it sound like...
I think it was going to get a reprisal in the final fight, which was going to be cooler. Rey was
John Williams is back for Kenobi.
No way.
Yeah. Did I read that somewhere?
Is that real?
I'm not a musician, as in I don't get on stage and play, but I played in band all my life, and I play several instruments. That is very exciting to me because John Williams is a very wonderful composer.
Oh my gosh!
And I feel like I'm looking it up. This is when you put the bars over that said technical difficulties while I look it up.
And Duel of Fates was going to get a reprisal in the final fight scene in the Duel of Fates movie. And in that final fight scene, I mean, Rey was going to have a double-sided lightsaber in that movie. Immediately cool. Kylo Ren was going to get
was
a
it
new...
Was it going to be red, in her flashback?
No.
Her flashback, her dream?
No, it was... and then Kylo was going to get a new mask. Hux was gonna have a subplot where he wishes he was Force sensitive, but he's not, and he's been collecting like Force artifacts, and in the end he
to infuse himself
or something.
Force power.
In the end, he kills himself with what is believed to be Mace Windu's lightsaber, with an amethyst blade.
That's wild.
That sounds cool. And then Finn gets something to do. They go to Coruscant. And
it's something to do.
Because he does. What does he do with the Rise of Skywalker? He gets
sliced in the back.
No, in the Rise of Skywalker.
He got sliced in the back, though.
Not in Rise of Skywalker.
No, but he pretty much.
He said, "Rey, I have something to tell you," and then never told it to her.
That's very true. It was. I love you.
So annoying. That was horrible.
But it's fine because
it's
all not
gone.
fine. Actually,
it's all
awful.
All
okay,
gone.
This just in. More than 2 years after completing his 9th Star Wars movie, composer John... I'm surprised he...
Came back
for this. But I'm happy because the soundtrack actually is not half bad in the movies.
Good.
But just because it's the music from John Williams.
Right.
Composer John Williams is returning to the Jedi fold with a theme for Obi-Wan Kenobi. Williams has written this musical signature for the continuing adventures of the character played by Ewan McGregor.
Hello there.
Airing on Disney Plus, beginning no one cares. It's a plug. He recorded... actually, everybody cares. We're going to watch it.
Oh, yeah.
He recorded last week with the Los Angeles Orchestra under tight security, blah, blah, blah. So it's very all hush, hush. But he's back, and he's composing for the show.
Exciting stuff.
Wonderful composer.
Yeah.
He will be missed when the time comes.
Oh, my gosh. Totally. 100%. But also in Duel of Fates, what was going to be, there was going to be a stormtrooper rebellion led by Finn, which would have been cool. There was going to be, they were going to go to Vader's castle.
Yes.
Which would have been sweet.
It would have been cool. We did see that in Rogue One, though, which I was very pleased with.
Yeah. I think it would have been cooler if the only time Vader popped up, though, was the hallway scene. Because imagine the entire movie you don't see it.
I like the exchange between him and I can't even remember the word this guy's name. Krennic.
Director Krennic.
It was that was almost my favorite part of the movie when he had the conversation with Lord Vader and just, I don't know like what he really went through his mind, but kind of defied Vader. And Vader just kind of like checked him like, I could literally kill you right now.
Careful not to choke on your aspirations, director.
Yes, it's one of the best lines in the movie. So I really like that interaction. I understand, like, it would have been cool if you just see, and it's like,
oh my gosh, what a moment!
But I think it was cool that they brought him in. You saw his castle, his home. He's not really a person anymore, but his home and his dwelling. He sits in his bacta tank, and I would have loved to see more in depth, like in Vader, the Shards of the Past, the little fan film thing. But I understand that wasn't really the focus of the film. Yeah.
And I respect that because look at
you don't want to dive in and not
look
do it
at
right.
Boba Fett. Book of Boba Fett suffers from a lack of focus because it jumps too much.
Yeah,
because it turns into a freaking episode. It turns into a series of The Mandalorian, season 3. It's Mandalorian,
Ahsoka and Luke Skywalker,
oh my
and
gosh.
Jedi children, and
it's not necessarily that I didn't like what I saw. I didn't like where I saw it.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
It was like, this is the Book of Boba Fett, boom, 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 and then it was like, but there's also the Mandalorian, hello, and then, hi, I'm Luke Skywalker, and then Ahsoka was like, I'm also in here, and you're like, anybody else? Mace Windu gonna pop up?
Honestly.
Yoda gonna come back as a Force ghost? What's going on here?
I would have been fine with the inclusion of the Mandalorian.
Mandalorian. I think it was a good squish, and that episode showing mostly him was decent.
It was a good episode, but it was just it didn't
just
need to be there. To be honest,
you could have just kept making a Mandalorian show.
Yeah. Why didn't you just start on season 3 if you wanted to tell more Mandalorian
or just
stories?
say, hey, season 3 of Mandalorian's coming, and you could even like put those sections of Book of Boba Fett in that, and just kind of like tie it in the timeline. So, like, show things that happened in Book of Boba Fett. Like, listen, we're jumping back, and this is, like, right before he was with Boba Fett, and then this is after, and then here we go.
Yeah.
What's he gonna do with Grogu, though? Like, Grogu's back with him, and it's just, like, they're just gonna fly the skies together and just...
In his Naboo starfighter. Yeah.
I have a perfect ending for the podcast.
Go ahead.
Are we supposed to do the smash? You supposed to do that yet?
You can do as you wish if you want to do the outro.
Oh, I don't know the outro. The outro is, thank you for listening. We want you to like.
Give it a listen.
Yeah. Give it a listen. I love that because it's at the end.
Dude,
give it a listen.
You said that last time. That was so funny.
Give it a listen.
Give it a listen.
Smash that subscribe button. I do like that. And then we could end it with a little...
I don't know if I can edit that in, but...
Oh, you're going to edit it with like a little...
Yeah, like and subscribe, all that good stuff. Go stream my music on Spotify, Apple Music. Positivity Project is all out now. Got some good songs on there. Give it a listen. Listen to this podcast. Like and subscribe, all that.
Give it a listen.
Do it. Just do it. Like Shia LaBeouf.
No, this is how you get people. You say, you won't.
Do it. You won't.
You won't.
You won't.
Watch this podcast.
Good night.
Am I supposed to do another...
Hey, wait, let me see it.
Is that a thumbnail?
It's thumbnails. Perfect.
I should definitely put that in there.
That's a good. Make a scary face.
Batman face.
All right, that's the thumbnail. Later.
That's a wrap.